Guess who got brands talking? Brandlive.co.za.
Wi-Fi check.
Sound all connected?
We connected. Plugs connected.
Yes. Oh, awesome. We're connected. Welcome everybody to the second show of the Geeks Connect with Mixo and Tiyani.
Welcome everybody. It's the second week and we're about to have fun. Get connected. Join us on Twitter at Geeks Connect.
Mixo, how has your week been? Where have you been turning up? Because I know you like to turn up.
Yeah. So it's been crazy week. Feels like a Friday already. We started most parts of the week was at the gkVacWork, which T will tell us a little bit about later on. But there was also step up to a startup awards launch at Gold Reef City. So awards, not the launch actually, guys. It was the awards. It was pretty cool. Interesting young minds doing some really cool stuff. It's a Prime Stars event, so it was really nice. So quite some nice dignitaries there.
Okay, were there also some nice Wi-Fi there?
So we connected. We connected during the show.
Awesome.
Yeah, so we were connected.
Awesome. Actually, today we are celebrating the Computer Science Education Week.
Yes.
So we have an interesting show for you. It's mostly about young people, checking out what the future of innovation looks like. Because the world has been changing. There have been some great innovators. So speaking of great change and great innovation, can you tell us a little bit about some tech facts, Mixo?
All right, let's jump right into it. The tech facts for today. Yes. So here's the first one. Google, right? Google handles an estimated 1 billion search queries each and every single day, releasing almost 20 tons of carbon dioxide per day. Like, how much is 20 tons of carbon dioxide?
A lot, eh? A lot. So basically, because the world has now moved into the internet economy, the world has gone industrial into the internet. Surprising that we still have this problem of carbon footprint, carbon emission, and so forth.
And it's going to that topic which I struggle talking about, green technology and messing up the ecosystem. So that's currently what's happening with Google.
So in fact, I think we have a show here on Brand Live Radio with Tiyani Naidu every Wednesday.
Yes.
So you can actually learn more and teach yourself about all green stuff, green economy. Should be exciting.
Yeah, guys, we need to find ways of saving our environment, because you can see rain is happening. And it's causing, rain always happens, but it's causing some serious havoc because of all the omissions that we're doing. The next one, quite interesting. Mr. Super Geek himself, Bill Gates' house was designed using, you'll never guess this, a MacBook. Like, how do they do that? How do they represent Windows, right? And then use a MacBook to design his... Like, how did he allow that?
You can't run away from the Apple, man. It's smooth, it's sexy, it's just there,
So one bite and you're hooked.
Yes.
All right, awesome, man. And then the next one, 90% of text messages are read within 3 minutes of being delivered. All right, I need to read this again. 90% of text messages are read within 3 minutes of being delivered. How true is this? You take forever to respond to my messages.
No, I never do.
Exactly, you never do. Even worse.
No, I never take long. But I know people who take long. It's as a geek, I'm always with my devices wherever I go. So I see all the messages as they come in, and I try to respond as quickly as possible.
Yeah. So that's basically what's happening. A couple of people are taking forever. I know sometimes I'm guilty of that. Take forever, longer than 3 minutes. To respond to your messages. WhatsApp is the worst. All right, so
building up to this show earlier on last week, a lot of people told me, "Oh, so you're going to be a radio DJ?" Like, what? So does this mean that being on radio means that you're a DJ? But here's the thing that I like about DJs. You can basically call yourself anything. I could call myself DJ Code, DJ Wi-Fi. What would you call yourself, Mixo?
myself on as a DJ, DJ Mix,
DJ Mobile Ninja.
DJ Mobile. I like that. I
You
see
know,
that.
for the purpose of this show, I thought maybe I should call myself DJ Innovation. You know, yeah.
So DJ Innovation on the airwaves. What does DJ Innovation have for us today?
Okay, so as DJ Innovation, we create to you some cool, innovative ideas out there. We have a segment called the Weekly Checkout.
Nice.
Now, so this is where we profile what young people are working on out there to get some recognition, you know, because local is like
One. So how does one become part of the Weekly Checkout? Because I mean, these are people that we come across and the world doesn't know. Some of them, they don't know about them, and we're using this platform to give them that exposure. So how can one become part of the Weekly Checkout?
Let us know anyhow. Social media, Facebook, we're there. Instagram, we're there. You can drop us an email, connect@gkculture.com. connect@gkculture.com. So there are so many ways where you can reach us. Every week we'll be sharing out some cool ideas that young people are working on behind closed doors, or maybe in their garage, you know, because, you know, one person actually said once that the reason why we don't have cool innovation coming out of South Africa is because we don't have enough garages in the country.
Maybe we need garages.
Yes.
Who knows? Maybe we need 27 boxes.
Oh, yes. Oh, by the way, we're coming to you live in a box.
In a box. Like, I still can't get the hang of that. Like, this is a literally a container which has been converted into a very awesome radio studio. A studio, and it's pretty awesome.
Yes. So this week we're checking out a project called Cousin. Misho, can you tell us a little bit about that?
All right, Project Cousins, quite an interesting. This guy got hold of us, and you know, parts of that to like, okay, let's just give his project a shout out and see what it does. So a Cousin, it's a very, very difficult name. It brings you a real shout out media which you can express anything positive and print it out on a t-shirt. So anything positive, right? You can just print it out on a t-shirt. Remember, Cousin is not restricted in terms of age and gender. So there's no you're 16 years old. It's all for everybody. Anyone with great thoughts can actually put something into writing and get a chance to win a free Cousin t-shirt and his or her Cousin message if they get 100 or more applauses. Right. So this is done by Vuma Pleasure.
And how? Just to mention that again, you can go to www.coxen.co.za. Cousin is COXEN. www.coxen.co.za.
Is it Cousin or Coxen?
Cousin. Yes.
Interesting.
Yeah. It's interesting that Misho says this is a difficult name. A lot of people still can't pronounce the Geek Culture name. Can you tell us again about the name Geek Culture, Misho? How did that come about?
Before I tell you that, I just want to tell you about one of our Uber drivers. He did something. We asked him to explain the name, right? We'll probably play the clip for you guys sometime on the next show. And he struggles calling the name. So this is how the name goes, right? Geek Culture. Geek Culture. It's not Geek Culture. It's not geek. There's no geek here. We're not trying to bleach anything. It's Geek Culture. So it's the two words fused together, geek and culture, fused together to combine one word. And we thought, hey, let's just be cool about it and even change the way it's spelled. So there's no Geek Culture, Geek Culture. It's Geek Culture.
Awesome. And just to let everybody know out there that if you're working on a cool project and you need help, you can actually go to our Facebook group, innovators.it. Give us a shout there. Let everybody know what you're working on. Remember, if you work in the closet, nobody will recognize you, and you will not eventually make the value out of your project. And if you're building a business, always remember, a business is not a business without a customer. Let your customers know out there they are waiting for you.
Yeah, with that, I was really impressed with the VacWork kids as well. In terms of how they analyze their projects and how they jumped into, the business model canvas, trying to understand that we're not just building, right? We need to understand that there's customers that need to use these things. So it's a good stepping stone for them.
And how does one go about testing their customers?
There's different ways. I mean, most people build without having a customer base. They assume. So you can use a business model canvas to test, right, a lot of theories about your projects. But the best way of testing your customers is actually going to your customers, interacting with your potential customers. Maybe the ones that you think are your customers are not your customers. You can also use something called Launch Rock, and use that as a tester. So if you are building an app, a website, or an event, you put it up online and see if people are actually signing up and they get you to share. And then with that, you create a user base. That's almost like it verifies that, no, I am able to, there is customers for what I'm trying to do. So use those platforms, have a look at Business Model Canvas, and also have a look at LaunchRock as a great way of testing if you actually do have a customer base or a user base.
And I think social media plays a critical role. Tell us, I heard of this concept called a guerrilla marketing method. Can you let everybody know about that?
Guerrilla marketing, it's one of the methods that geek culture likes using a lot. It's doing things differently, not the typical way of marketing, being creative, using the resources that you have as minimal as it might be. But at the same time, it's the major thing about guerrilla marketing is being creative and having massive impact without really spending too much on your marketing budget. So we use a couple of those. You can tell us about some of the ones that Geek Culture has used to market their products out there or their events.
Awesome. So we do a lot of noise on social media. We don't do a lot of emails telling you what's happening and all that. I think that's also why Brand Live Radio tends to exist, giving the voice to brands out there to outshine themselves and reach their market base much better. I think it's quite an interesting concept because you can actually build a business out of a very low budget.
Exactly.
I think that's the beauty of it, of where we're living right now. People are starting up their businesses out there, and make sure that you build things that people want. And I think also the concept of lean startup is important. Can you tell us quickly about that, Misho?
Lean startup, it's so funny that the big guy is talking about lean. But here goes. So lean startup is really about, trying to have focusing on the most important thing about your product. It's called an MVP, right? It's a most viable product. So instead of building for a very long time and your most perfect product, you build and develop the most minimal parts of it, but the most important features of your product, right? Pushing it out to market, quickly testing it out, and getting quick feedback. So it's all about failing fast and moving forward with it, right? So the market quickly gives you feedback and say, listen, change this and this. I mean, if we look at the likes of Facebook, they're constantly changing these platforms, the look and feel, and the content that they push out through the lean startup, lean methodology way of quickly pushing it out, getting feedback quickly, and changing, instead of just going all the way, then trying to go to market and then change while it's too late. And the nice thing about lean startup methodology is that it saves you money and resources. So you don't just go full blown. You quickly work on the most important thing. If there's a customer base, they start paying. If they don't pay, you change it.
Awesome. Ladies and gentlemen, we are celebrating Computer Science Education Week. Make sure that you are building some cool tech out there, represent Africa as a whole. And remember, one thing about lean startup is fail and fail fast.
Yes.
Fail and fail fast.
Yes. So on that, a lot of people are so afraid of failing. They think when you fail, it's the end of the world. But one thing it teaches you is that, when you fail, you're able to quickly learn from it. The most important thing is when you fail, get up, learn from it, and then move and change where you made mistakes on.
Yes, you are tuned in to Geeks Connect. We're coming to you live in a box on Brand Live Radio, and we'll be back after this ad break.
Have you ever thought about the power of social media? Social media has the power to make your business grow. Grow! Yeah! Why don't you let us manage your social media? Because our business is to see your business grow. Visit us at www.bstownmedia.co.za.
We back. Check out us on Twitter, Facebook as well. We're using the hashtag Geeks Connect. So engage with us on Geeks Connect and let us know your thoughts. Ask a man. Yeah, is Ask a Geek. Tell us a little bit about what is it that you guys are doing. What are some of the questions that you guys have? Maybe it's all about running a business. Maybe it's about trying to build an app. Maybe it's you want to know a little bit about code. We got a bit of code fusion going on here. You're confused about a code. We got our famous geek here who will help us out.
Yes, that's right, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. You're still tuned in. Tweet us, post on Facebook, innovators.it. You can actually Skype as well. Yeah, call in to the show. We want to know, what are you thinking out there? What's confusing you? What are you confusing? Confusions rather for today. Yeah, so in the meantime, Misha and I will also go through some of the popular questions that are asked out there that young geeks are getting confused about. Misha?
Yes, one of the things that we came across is people are trying to look for platforms or places where they can connect, right? People in townships don't know where to find these incubators. There's a lot of incubators out there and they don't know how to be part of that. Maybe we can just touch on a little bit about which incubators are out there, based in where, and how a person can be in touch with them.
Awesome. So we are right here in Johannesburg,
Yes.
the city of gold. I think Josie Hub is an ideal place for someone to go out there and connect.
Yeah, Josie Hub in 44 Stanley. That's a nice place to check out if you want a space to work at. If you're based around that area, Braamfontein.
Oh yes, Braamfontein. So the Wits University building a digital precinct.
Yes.
It's quite awesome. It's vibey. So on 111 Smith Street, you can actually go there and check out the Digital Innovation Zone. And then they've got a cool new spot that was launched in August, and we're proud to be part of that. The Tsimologong Digital Precinct, it's awesome. 47 Juta Street. So go check it out and get your innovation juice flowing.
Yes, that's actually quite a nice spot in Bram. I like the energy and the colorfulness of Bram. It's a great spot. So if you're in Bram, have a look at Tsimologong. It's a really great spot to check out. Where else?
Let's move over to Rosebank.
Rosebank, yes. So we got Standard Bank plugged in Rosebank, right opposite the Standard Bank offices. So you get off the train, it's just a walking distance. You head out to Rosebank, Standard Bank Incubator. So that's a cool space where you can just chill, number one. Number two, they've got great coffee. Number three is you can actually meet lots of like-minded people, mentors, and it's a co-working space. There's a lot of events that they have, which can help you grow, which can help you build your business within there.
Yes, 5 Baker Street in Rosebank, that's where it is. Let's move over to Fourways. What does one do if they are around Fourways?
Fourways.
Riverside.
Yes, Riverside's in Fourways. So it's a new one. It's a new incubator, but it's doing pretty well. It's a little bit on the outskirts, almost towards Deep Sloot. But that's a great spot to also check if you're based around Fourways. They're really doing some great stuff. They're next to the Republic of Stain. That's where they are based. A very interesting spot. What do you think about that place?
Oh yes, we went there once. We did real talk with Anele. Quite an awesome place.
Yeah.
The place is at the gate. That's where the offices are, at the gate. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah,
interesting.
that was a whole different experience. Moving to Pretoria.
Yes, let's start off in Centurion. You can check out the Makers Republic by our friends at the iMake Hub. It's quite an awesome place. It's a market every day. Live music, there's food. You can make they have the biggest 3D printer in the country. It's quite interesting. That's where we actually printed the skateboard.
Wait, so explain a little bit about the skateboard that was done at that spot.
Yeah, so the skateboard is quite an interesting one. We had been putting tech onto a skateboard, and then we have an app for it that visualizes data out of the skateboard. Like you can tell how high a skater has jumped, how much they have traveled, that they have skated today, the distance, the type of a trick and so forth. But then we thought, let's make things a little bit interesting and then actually get that skateboard 3D printed.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. Looking forward to actually the skateboard coming to life. I mean, the way it's now being people are actually using it at skate events. That's going to be an awesome way. It's not just a skateboard, but a skateboard with electronics plugged into it, and it can tell you info of how you're doing. That is going to be really cool.
Yes, another spot where you can hang out in Pretoria is the Innovation Hub.
The Innovation
Can you tell
Hub.
us about them?
The Innovation Hub, one of the biggest science parks in Africa, based at around
Pretoria East.
Based around Pretoria East, in Linwood. So that's one area you can go check out. Lots of things happening in there. There's people that want to do stuff in the green space, biotech, ICT. There's just a lot of things. It's basically a science park, a science place where you can do a lot of things from entrepreneurship, innovation, development. You get mentoring as well, get lots of support, and they've got lots of other satellite incubators around the country. With some of them going into the townships, we're basically plugging in the people around the township. So there's no exclusion. Doesn't mean that if this is a Pretoria East thing, no, it's exclusive to people around the area. No, it's open to everybody around Pretoria, Joburg. And the nice thing about the Innovation Hub is it covers the whole of Gauteng. Right, so whether you're in Ekurhuleni, whether you're in Joburg or Pretoria, you still can be part of the of the Innovation Hub.
Awesome. Let's talk about the kids now. What can young kids get involved in? I think the city of Ekurhuleni just wrapped up the program now.
Yes, there's the city of Ekurhuleni. Big ups to them. They just concluded their learnathon, which we are part of. Now, the learnathon, the thinking is this, right? The city of Ekurhuleni is looking at creating a digital connected city. Right, so they figured one of the best ways of doing this, they've got Wi-Fi plugged in, they've got libraries all over the place, but they figured let's now start grooming the young people, bring them back to the libraries, but at the same time, let's teach them about the tech. Not just play games on your computers, but what can you develop? So they created a program called the Learnathon, which ran for 14 weeks, and what happened is they had mentors who taught them. 2 libraries were used, Katlehong and Katlehong Library and Germiston, right? So kids came in, they learned how to code, the basics of IT, learned how to code. And on the last weekend, on the Friday, they had a hackathon. So a mini hackathon for the kids where they were giving challenges, they formed teams, and then they came up with solutions. And on the Saturday, they had to present their solutions, things that they've learned within 14 weekends. To the panel, and it was quite impressive. So big ups to Ekurhuleni and what they're doing, and they had good projects. What is one of your favorite projects, T?
Yeah, there were quite a lot. There was an interesting one on education. You know how young people like to get involved in empowering other young people. Yeah, but I think the most important lesson for me there is how young people are addressing the education system.
Yes.
So basically reinventing the education system for the future, because some of us are way old. And we need to get young people involved in saying that this is how we want school to be in future. So those systems are always interesting for me.
Yeah, so one of my favorites one, it's the winning one. They won it's now they get to notify. It's an app which they built, which gets to notify the parents of the status of their child at school. So mark results are there. Is a kid attending school or not? The parents are able to get those things. So the parents can even know about the results of how the child is performing before the child actually presents the report. So that was a great idea. And I saw one of the parents was very excited about it. She's like, where do I download the app? So they had their first customer before they even concluded presenting.
I think another one that stood out for me was these 3 young ladies. They developed a solution for the 16 days of activism. Yes, we are currently active, by the way. 16 days of activism against the abuse of women and children. So these young ladies developed a solution around that to bring more consciousness and make reporting of such cases be much easier. They're also educating people to know that this is an abuse or this is not an abuse and so forth. But the way they presented their solution, they played the part. They had red makeup all over their faces to really tell a story that this is a problem in the society. I think that's the way to go in presenting stuff. Misho, how can people get hold of us through Skype?
So we all teched up. So one of the ways of connecting us with us is through Skype, right? So do drop us your tweets as well, but at the same time call us through Skype, Brand Live Radio, at Brand Live Radio. You'll find us out on Skype, and then give us a ring. Let's talk. Let's hear what you guys are thinking. Let's hear what you guys think of the show so far. And then drop us your questions as well and Ask a Geek on Twitter, Facebook, and we'll be checking it out as well. So I'll just repeat that Skype account is Brand Live Radio.
Yes, and of course, we do like to give a shout out to Silicon Cape down in Cape Town for all the Cape Town geeks there, and also MLab Southern Africa. They're there, Workshop 17. I'm doing some.
What does MLab South Africa do?
MLab, I think they stand for Mobile Laboratory, and understand that they incubate mobile impact solutions. Yeah,
and with a focus, I think the one of the focuses is on health.
Yes.
So they're looking at so if you're out there and you're building an app or you have a solution, not necessarily an app, can be hardware related around health. Maybe you have a new wristband or something like that. Give MLab SA a shout out. Check them out on Twitter as well, and also just check them out on their website so you can see some of the startups that are based at MLab.
And of course, we are working on establishing an MLab in Kimberley. It's exciting.
Looking forward to it. So who says there are no people in Kimberley? Great things are happening in Kimberley. It's been a great year. Shout out to the guys in Kimberley. You guys are awesome and you've been doing some really great stuff. You guys should be proud of putting your province up there.
Do you think they will fill that big hole with innovation?
The big hole is filling. It's going to take time, but they're getting there.
Awesome. Yeah, so we'll be doing a lot of exciting stuff down in Kimberley as well. They've got the Bloodhound project coming up next year. It's exciting. Imagine a supersonic car with a land speed record of 1,600 kilometers per hour.
Yeah.
Yes, it's being tested in Hexpian pen at the desert. It's going to be exciting. Just mark your calendar, 11 October 2017. It's going down. It's going down, y'all.
So it's going to break the record.
Yes.
Sure. That's quite fast, hey?
Yeah.
And they have one shot.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're also involved in that program. We're excited about it. We'll be getting young people excited about science and technology. So they've got a program where young people can actually compete and build their own rocket cars and compete around that. It's exciting.
Yeah, we need we need new, fresh Elon Musks from the country, to stay in the country, hopefully, so that our economy can grow, but also so that we can have some really cool tech coming from South Africa.
Talking about the Future Geeksters.
The Future Geeksters. Such an interesting program that you guys are behind. Tell us the Future Geeksters.
Yes. So we'll be talking to the Future Geeksters after this ad break and a song. And we still have got a great lineup coming up for you.
Making a bold statement yet blending into the surrounding suburbs of Melville, 27 Boxes is a realization of edgy design and practical implementation. A radical departure from the shopping malls of our generation, yet not a return to the high streets of our youth. 27 Boxes showcases the best of a shopping centre set in a garden, surrounded by the bohemian suburb that is Melville. 27 Boxes, shop, play, eat.
Welcome back, everybody. We're just now going to take a breather. Make sure that you grab a cup of coffee. We are connected. Just enjoy this next bit.
Enjoy your Java.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. We're back on it. Okay.
Thought you wanted to drop some geek bars right here. 16 bars right there. You can drop them for us.
Yes. I will soon. In fact, next week we have got a new presenter coming up as well.
Yes.
Skinny. It's a tech rapper.
It's a tech rapper. Really cool, awesome kid who does some really cool stuff as well.
Where did Skinny start? How did we meet that boy, by the way?
There was a hunger strike. No, we met Skinny at TUT. The TUT Open Day. I think it was in grade 11 or grade 10, somewhere there.
I was doing grade 10.
Yeah. So he rocked up to one of the stands where there was a TUT Open Day and we were exhibiting there. And he came through and, he was like, yeah, I like this tech thing, which was pretty awesome. But what caught our attention is that, listen, I can rap about this tech stuff that you guys are doing. Yeah, we gave him a mic. Well, we gave him a phone to rap, and he started rapping, and we recorded it. We actually have the clip on YouTube. You guys can check it out. And
I'm interested in the robots that he was building. I remember that he was building some cool robots by then.
So yeah, he was breaking stuff, trying to build robots as well. Using electronic junk. So he would disassemble like radios and put them together to build whatever he wanted. Besides the robots, one of the things he did, he'd build an electronics school bag, sound system school bag, if I can put it that way. He took speakers from a radio and he put it together into his school bag, and he connected it in such a way that he was able to play sound on the go, play the radio. So Skinny would be able to walk with his school bag listening to Brand's live radio, while without any other equipment, just something that he put together, and be able to put in an SD card and play whatever music he prefers.
Yes, and from then we had an interesting journey with Skinny. He attended the first Geek Culture Hackathon in 2014. Then after that, he was one of the first people who attended the gkVacWork program.
Yes. So he's been with us for some time. He's been a really awesome kid. And now what he's actually doing is he's mentoring his fellow young people. He travels with us around the country, mentoring other kids as well, show them what to do, and he showed them what to do here and there, and he becomes a MC as well.
Do you think there are other skinnies out there?
I hope they're not as skinny as him, but yes, there's potentially some of them out there with great talent, and that's part of the Future Geeksters program.
Okay, we actually went to Soweto to find other skinnies. Can we? So we hosted the VacWork program. So the VacWork program is a holiday program where we take in young people from around the areas, put them in a simulated working environment. They build mobile apps, electronic systems, robots. They build their business cases as well, being mentored by students, the Geek Culture team, and then also Co-Tribe team in Soweto were involved in mentoring those young people to see where is the innovation of this country going. Where do we find the next Steve Jobs, the next Tiyani Nghonyama? Shout out. Where do we find these cool young people? So we actually did an interview with the winning team in Soweto. Yes. Can you listen to this interview?
We had at Soweto Empowerment Zone with the winning team from the Geek Culture VacWork in Soweto. There's 5 really cool, awesome people here. Nice to see a female part of the team. Actually, let's start with introduce yourself.
My name is Solofelo Mazibuko.
And I'm Karabam Tau. And I'm Bongam Butani. Ponso Pekisha.
And Nawatama.
Alright, so these are the cool guys that won. They took the first place. Do you guys mind telling us what was your challenge? What is it that you guys worked on?
Okay, firstly, on the first day, we managed to do our project, but we were working individually. And on the second day, that's where we met the 5 of us, and we started working on the same project. It was quite challenging because we didn't have a mentor that time, and we had to ask other mentors from other group to come and help us. But it did help with that little info they gave us, because working with these guys really gave me a good, it really opened my mind, because they are wise, they are intelligent, and I really learned a lot from them, because they are fast learners, because we had little time with the mentors that we had to borrow from other groups. So working with these guys was really awesome.
So basically you guys had really good mentors that helped you out, right?
Yeah.
What are some of the things that you learned from your mentors?
Well, We learned basically how to work in a group, how to communicate with each other. We learned how to create an app, how to create pages, how people can get access to the app, and yeah.
We also learned how to actually put our app on Play Store, on other things, and the app that we created is really awesome, and it's a good innovation because it will change the lives of students and it will change the country as a whole.
So talking about the app, what is the app that you guys worked on? What does it do?
The app helps the learners who don't have information about how to register, who are always at location community sitting unemployed. Helps them to know how the easy way to register, and they will go. The majority of them they will go to school and learn.
Basically, it also it compares university and college costs, and it also registers for you, so you don't have to go to each and every different website for a university or college to go register on. And it's very time consuming, and it also saves your money. Yeah, yes.
Most definitely, it is time savvy because you don't have to go and browse through different varsity websites applying online. With our app, you just apply once and it automatically registers for you at a university or college depending on what you prefer, and it automatically gives you opportunities and opens up opportunities to get access to bursaries, learnerships, scholarships, and any other private funding. So it's quite good.
Right. So what made you guys come up with this particular app? Come up with this particular idea on what made you, it's a very interesting idea. There's a lot of challenges around universities, right? And you guys are not in universities yet, right? What made you guys come up with this challenge?
Because we saw our friends who are in universities, so we saw that they have a challenge, and some of us are done with matric, so we saw the problem.
All right, so you were actually building this for your friends and also for yourselves?
Yeah. Basically, this is to help local learners because that's where there's much population and that's where there's a high rate of unemployment. So this will help many people. It doesn't help those who are still learning. It also helps those who have finished their matric but they have no plan on what to do for the next step. So this app will help them to insert their past results, and it will give them info on how to apply and how to gather info. And also when time goes on, we'll comply with other groups, and we'll also offer job opportunities whereby we'll teach people how our app works and how they can share info and build our planet. Yeah, the problem as the youth, we also noticed many things in our communities and in our country as a whole. We noticed that the crime rate has been drastically going up, and plus we noticed the rate of employment, of course, as Karabo said, has been also drastically going up. And another thing, the illiteracy rate in our country is drastically going up, and that leaves questions in our young minds. What's going to happen to our country? Yes. So with this app, we'll ensure that people get access to education, tertiary education, so that they learn skills and they are able to work, which will also help the economy very much by helping the GDP and so on and so forth. So.
Adding to what my fellow group members has said, is that the thing that inspired the app is seeing how people drop out of university because of less knowledge on actually, let's say, how they should budget for a year of their courses and stuff. So the app actually goes through that and make sure that you don't, it decreases the chances of one dropping out of tertiary institutions.
Right. So as a way of wrapping up, which tools did you guys use to build your app?
We used a software called Just in Mind, but firstly, for the first 2 days, we were using MIT, which Sfiso, one of our mentors, came and said, "No, guys, you should try Just in Mind. It has great features, and you guys are going to like it." And working with it, just gave us a wow vision on seeing that we're on the right path. We also used Pinterest, which is actually a good site to look at the latest things. So Pinterest also guided us on how to design our app, on how it should look like, and on how it should function. So those are the things that we actually use and our grades.
All right, awesome, guys. Looking forward to downloading your app once you guys have it on the App Store. And good luck with your future.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, and gigs. Those were youngsters from Soweto explaining their solution. Quite some interesting things in that interview, Misho.
Yeah, I mean, what really stands out for me is that they had no knowledge of any of the stuff that they were doing, besides the problem around their area, right? So the problem is what they were familiar with, but how to solve it using technology, it was new to them, and they learned how to use different platforms within a week, 5 days, right?
Yes, the program started last week, Wednesday, and finished on Tuesday. So they had roughly 4 days of working days, basically, to do their solution. I think what stands out for me is that question that I was put out. What's going to happen to our country?
Yes. It's great having young minds, I mean, who are thinking not just about their problem, but they're thinking about the country as a whole and what kind of role can they play within their country, and what kind of impact those small young human beings from wherever they are, whether it's township or whatever it is, right? How can they solve their country because they see there's a problem?
Young people are talking about GDPs.
Dude,
Interesting.
I was surprised. I was like, this kid is sitting here and he's talking about a GDP. Or like, what does he know? That was quite impressive as well. It basically shows you, like, if we give them access, right, the government as a whole, the country as a whole, where we empower young people from a very, very young age and give them the right resources, the knowledge, imagine what they'll do in the next 5 years.
Yes, and they also touched on creating job opportunities. I happen to know this man called McLean Sibanda. I think that's right.
Yes.
McLean Sibanda is the CEO of some organization in South Africa. It's always going on. We need to get young people to create jobs.
Yes.
We need to get entrepreneurs creating jobs that matters. So young people are talking about creating jobs, and I think that's an exciting feature to look forward to. Look, you're not just starting to become an employee.
Yeah.
You can take action as a citizen of this country to be able to create jobs for other people as well. I think that's exciting for me.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, that's where the future should be, right? We need a balance, and so far it's not balanced. A lot of people want jobs, and we need a lot of creators of jobs. And to do that, I mean, you have to start them young. You have to really start them young. It's gonna be quite interesting when 5 years from now I get hired by one of the future Geeksters, super awesome people, and I'll have to go send my CV. I hope they don't check my social media to see what I've been doing, but it's going to be interesting when they are the ones who are now hiring, and that's the future basically, right?
Yes, future employers. But don't you think having too many employers, we're not going to have customers in future? Yeah.
Well, it's about the balance. It's about the balance. I mean, as things stand, we've got so many people who are looking for jobs, right? There's not enough jobs. It's not like there's not enough job seekers. There's just not enough jobs. There's not enough jobs. They say there's not enough skilled people. So these young kids are the ones that will then create the jobs for those people, so we can have some sort of a balance. I mean, someone has to pay, someone has to receive the money.
Of course. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, that was the segment on Innovator of the Week, and we featured some young people. So you will see that mostly in this show we'll be bringing a lot of young people, because we're all about the kids, We're all about the kids and the youth of this country, who we believe that are going to change things for the better. Of course, we're not ignoring the older generation, because they also want to learn. I think what was exciting about that VacWork as well is that one of the mothers decided that, nope, I'm bringing my kid. I'm not leaving. I also want to stay. And she actually stayed for the entire period, learning how to build mobile apps and websites.
That's actually quite impressive as well. I mean, we always think that they just want to drop their kids off and not want to learn. But remember the taxi guy.
Yes.
Yes, there was also a taxi guy who
From
was
Mamelodi.
yes, who was taking care of the
Transport.
the
for it.
transport for the VacWork. And this guy calls us, right? And then he says, "Guys, I need a computer." And we're like, "We need a computer for?" And then he mentioned his name is Akani, and he says, "I need a computer because I need to run my business. I've got a business going on, right, which does plumbing and whatnot, but I need to plug myself online. I need to create my website. I need to put my business in a digital space." So it's quite interesting that people now are moving into that space, and you can't write them out, whether they're kids, the parents, or a taxi driver. He sees the importance of being connected, and that's the great thing about tech, connecting all kinds of people, and the Future Geek Stars program, where it's not about the kids, but the kids taking that knowledge and sharing it and teaching their parents and taxi drivers.
Yes, I think what was exciting as well, back in March, a taxi driver from Stanza Bopane High School was transporting kids to the VacWork program. But then he actually said, "I also want to learn."
Yes.
And he was there the entire time learning. We can't say no to education.
No, they have to all be empowered.
Yes, remember, ladies and gentlemen, we are celebrating Computer Science Education Week. And we are telling young people out there that it's okay. You can be a geek. You can break and make stuff. You can play with computers. Let's get kids playing with computers, because the world is going digital. It's getting smarter and smarter. And we need to be sure that when we leave this world, as old as we are, we must leave it to capable minds who can transform it to the better.
Exactly. We need a lot of creators. We need a lot of innovators within the country, and we need, great minds for the future of the country to be in really, really good position.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, right now we are going to give you a geek guide for the week. Where are we turning up? Turn up.
All right, so we're about to jump up. T, where are you turning up?
Me. So today, after this show, I'm going to the Science Forum South Africa, happening at the CSR Convention Center. I hope the Wi-Fi is good. Yes, it's going to be an exciting one. Being surrounded by scientists of this world, checking out where is South Africa, where is Africa, because there are a lot of delegates coming from various parts of Africa and also outside Africa as well, coming together to celebrate science and inspiring the next scientists, basically. So it's going to be an exciting one. It will be happening today and tomorrow at the CSR Convention Center, Pretoria East. Yes.
All right, one of the places you can check out is the Standard Bank Incubator in Pretoria. They're still continuing with the program of every day. From 10 o'clock, they have a speaker. They have a session with different people within the entrepreneurship sectors. So if you want to learn about business, if you want to learn about how to take your company to the next level, your tech company, how to improve on it, be sure to check out Standard Bank Incubator in Hatfield. It just started. It's a really cool spot. Right there by Connor Hilda 44. It's on 44 Hilda 44. Forgot the street address. Can't believe this. I'm thinking about 44 Stanley. But it's right there by the corner of Hilda in Hatfield. So check it out. There's some cool events happening there for the next week.
Yes, and there's cool Wi-Fi as well, right?
Yes, there's cool Wi-Fi.
And tonight, where I'm turning up again, the FameLab launch. It's quite an interesting initiative that gets, idols.
Yeah.
And you know idols, yeah.
Yes, I know idols.
Did you know that we also have idols for science?
No way.
Yes.
No way.
Unbelievable.
How does it work?
So young people get to now become idols through a FameLab program, FameLab, by the British Council, the SASTA. It's happening at CSR Convention Center tonight as well. It's going to be exciting. It's always great to celebrate young scientists who are shaping our world.
Yeah, definitely. We need to not just celebrate, but also support them. It's very important to make sure that while we celebrate, we support them as well, because we need to make sure they're taken good care of. And
also in France, yes, see levels now checking out things in France. The Open Government Summit is currently happening. Open Government Partnership Summit is currently happening. Our local chapter, the South African Open Government Partnership, we happen to work with them. So the summit is currently happening from the 6th until tomorrow. Actually, it's quite exciting. Get involved to see how you can use open data for innovation, how we get the government to be more transparent, how you find value out of open data. You might remember that last week we had the winners of the Responsive Cities Challenge, an open data challenge, which basically is the basis of the summit that's currently happening now. How do we convince the government to release more data into the public? What kind of data would you like to see, Misho?
I would like to see to get to know where are the businesses in townships. I'd like to get to know where are the businesses. I mean, if I need a plumber from Kukasi, where can I find this person? If I need, there's a lot of creative people, designers, web developers, where are they? That's some of the open data I'd like to see. Do that. Does the government have that data? And if not, how can we help them create that? I'd like to also see, I mean, now we're going to registrations of schools. It would be nice to know more about why should a particular kid go to this particular school? What kind of information do they have about this particular school?
Yes, you remember we hosted an open data debate at the Ekurhuleni Metropolitan Hackathon.
Yes.
Now, it was quite interesting because we had people who said, yes, it's okay, the cities or government can release data, and some were going against it. So I think we still have a bit of a long road to go as far as open data is concerned, but open data have a policy on it. So, for an example, most of the data that is released by municipalities is mostly location-based data. It cannot be a person data. They cannot expose people's ID numbers and so forth. I was impressed last year in Ekurhuleni. The Ekurhuleni Metropolitan Police actually released some data on police stations to say that in this police station, these are the number of people getting arrested. I think there was also the type of crimes. Just think about what can innovators do with that data. I think it's quite interesting.
That's the beauty of open data. So to all the entrepreneurs, innovators, creators out there, the government is opening their data to you guys. And they say, come use it to help your communities, to help your surroundings become a lot better. So look into some of these portals, have the information to build better products that, have a user base that are actually solving the problems that the people are having there.
All right. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, it is your constitutional right to information. So we have to wrap up the show now, hey?
Already?
Any last words for today?
Besides, guys, be safe out there. Keep hacking. Keep building stuff. But at the same time, connect with us on Geek Culture, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Follow the hashtag GeeksConnect to engage with us and all the different things. And keep building, man.
Yes, and there's a trend going on Twitter. Thank you 2016 for. What are you thankful for this year? Let's reflect on the year to be thankful on the fact that we have free Wi-Fi, on the fact that we can connect to you live right here. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been real. Let's stay connected.
Heading out, and this is Misho and DJ Innovation.
Are we?
Have you ever thought about the power of social media? Social media has the power to make your business grow. Yeah. Why don't you let us manage your social media? Because our business is to see your business grow. Visit us at www.beastdownmedia.co.za.